What's popular YouTube? Another day, another demo. Sliding in at number 14. Who's it gonna be? Chat, let us know. Hey, yo, can I get 100 likes on this video? Can we do 150 likes? I know we can do this together. Guys, I am having a little bit too much fun.
I'm a little bit delirious. My sleep schedule is out of whack completely.
I've just been sleeping all day. Different naps. I'm taking 8-hour sleeps. I woke up at like 4 a.m. this morning. It's 11:36 right now. I'm doing the second video of the day, trying to get back on track, organize the rest of this list. Any final considerations? You know what I'm saying? It's getting hectic, but now it's starting to get fun. It's starting to get fun. How happy with this list out of 20 are we? If you had to put a number of it, are we 17 out of 20 happy? That's what I want to see in the comments below, okay? Can we get, okay, 100 comments in the comments below, okay? I know we can do it, okay? Together, guys, okay? This player for number 14, for our 3 guesses, this player is from a country that is severely underrepresented in the top level of Pro CS. Ayo. This player is playing his first major ever. Yo. This player is 20 years old and some say is better with a rifle than an op. Just want to give you a second for any final considerations. That's right, baby. It's Brokey. It's Brokey. This is our number 14 player of 2021. All right? I know where you're at. Everybody who watches this channel thinks Brokey is overrated, and it's my own fault. I understand, okay? We cut Brokey Week short because he wasn't taking enough initiative on the pushes and everything like that. But this major, what do you guys think? I watched this major, and I felt like he put that to bed. I thought he was sick at this major. And I thought that, honestly, like, yeah, it was not his fault that they didn't get stickers. Well, it's Valve's fault because they should all got stickers, but negligent Valve. But I thought Brokey showed a different face at this major. The demo we watched today, it was just a solid match that he had versus Virtus Pro in the Challenger stage. He had solid land stats this year. I mean, Brokey played a fantastic year. And yeah, like, you know, he's an opper, so we take that in consideration. He's a player who is careful, I guess, if you want to put it like that. But at the same time, I feel like, man, he just he really tried his absolute hardest to play well, not just play for stats or play scared or anything like that. Play well to like bring his team as far as he possibly could. And I really thought that Brokey impressed me at this major. And if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have had him here on this list. I thought this year was actually very strong. I have a lot of great things to say about Brokey. I think he is now trending in the right direction. I feel like he's meeting that apex of criteria right now, where he's the opper with the high accuracy. He's the opper with the fantastic movement, like top 3 opper movement in my opinion. He's the opper who has really good hybrid skills, as good with the rifle, if not better, which can be a mark, can maybe not be. Being a good rifler, look at Zywoo, for example. He's rifling like half the maps now. Like, that's almost as important, right? And literally his only drawback, like Bit, was the fact that he wasn't taking initiative. And then Bit figured out how to take initiative like halfway through the year and creamed it. Now the thing is that, oh, well, why didn't FaZe have as much success as Na'Vi? And for me, Brokey is not simple, and Bit is not simple either, right? They still need the rest of the team. They're missing a bit of the X factor. There's rumor that FaZe could get ROPS on the team, but until then, right now, they have a star in Brokey, they have a star in Twist, but they don't have a Nico anymore. They don't have a superstar. And there is a distinct difference between having a star player, okay, and a top 5 player in the world. There's a huge difference when it comes to all the LAN results. We look at Zywoo, Simple, Nico, Device out of last year, whatever you want to say. These players on their respective teams are the top 5 teams, as well as having a top 5 player. They're not to be compared. Even if Twists and Brokey and all these guys had good years, it's not the same. There are levels, and that needs to be understood. What those guys do in the top 5 it's a level of CS that they've got the secrets to that they haven't shared. it really is just a whole different dimension. So that's why we spend so much time talking about them, even though the team aspect is huge. And, we look at a player like Rops, and he's got his own problems, right? I mean, it feels like he is of the same quality or the same cloth as these top 5 players, but he is not a superstar in the same way that Nico is. He doesn't take initiative as much either. He is still developing before our eyes. We might have yet to see the best of Rops, and he definitely will be a good fit if he does come onto FaZe to come into Olaf's roles. But yeah, it's going to be a very kind of like even team effort between, I think, 3-star players in Brokey, Twist, and himself to all consistently put up the stats. It won't be kind of just like one player at the top and then every 4 bottom fraggers, and then once in a while all of them start fragging well. On FaZe, I think it's going to be 3 very consistent players who put up pretty damn big stats, but still going to be a bit. They don't have someone. I don't think they have the opening kill Andy who is going to guarantee them games. I think they're still going to maybe have some struggles, but with Rops, they can be tournament winning for sure. Especially with the clutch rounds that he'll win and the rifling and stuff like that. And we'll see. I think we'll see Twist improve continuously. I think we'll see Brokey improve continuously, and Robs improve continuously. So those are 3 players who I think will play better next year than they did this year, and will be extremely motivated. I think they'll have a very, I think they'll have a very good go of it, man. Yeah. So we're here to talk about Brokey though after a really, really solid year, and amazing year with just playing his first major and putting up such good numbers, and overall just improving in every way, just from the eye test, improving as a player, everything in the last year. I think he's brought up and changed the perception about Brokey in a big way. So, okay, this intro could potentially cut short. We can hop into the game. It's Brokey, baby, number 14. It's starting to get intense. I love it. We didn't get stickers, but at least we get some flowers here for Brokey, some accolades. Let's hop into the game. Let's enjoy a game with little Brokey. All right, little Brokey. No longer, we can't call him, he's not the young guy on the team anymore. All right, Brokey he's a star player. He's the opper. He's not a rookie. Okay, 2019, he was a rookie. 2020, he had a strong year. He improved a lot. 2021, he's peaking, all right? He played his first major. Everyone wanted to know how he played at this major. And you guys know how I feel about Brokey. We stopped Brokey Week because we felt like, together, all of us, we share the same opinion, okay, guys? We felt like in Brokey Week, what we learned was that, how much does that USP cost? Okay. 10-5 CT side. A real 18-5 half, I think, here for Brokey. CT side, Inferno. We did him a favor this time and now watch the T side. You know how we feel about Brokey. We started Brokey Week because when you watch the matches, you look at the stats on the surface, you see Brokey, this guy's crazy. And listen, I mean, when I watch his LAN demos, I have to say I'm thoroughly impressed. I'm like shocked. I'm like, no wonder he's winning these duels. He's fast as hell. He looks like he was born to play on LAN, like no cap. That's serious, and I stand by that. Literally, the only thing missing from his game was the little bit of initiative that he wasn't taking. But if you watch the major, he was taking that initiative. His opening kill percentage stat went up, and his stats were ridiculous. And this major was a situation where it looked like FaZe needed a roster change. You know what I'm saying? Twist and Brokey were carrying the hell out of FaZe consistently throughout the major, trying their best to keep them in this game. And this is going to be one of those matches. But this whole major is, I mean, Brokey said, we'll get stickers. I'm going to get stickers. And then they didn't get it. Nico said he'd be at the fall finals. He promised. And they didn't qualify because they got eliminated by Mad Lions in the showdown. Sometimes you can't keep all your promises because it's not completely up to you, you know? It is a team game at the end of the day. But what we can say for sure is Brokey did his part. Brokey absolutely did his part. He's a super good player. You know, if he was fully complete and had these stats, I think he'd be further up the list for me. But I will say I can still see where he maybe needs to improve. But if we compare him to someone like Masuda, for example, I think he's far less one-dimensional. I think he's really good in way more situations. I think his stats show that, you know, I think he's right up there with Twist right now. And I think he's actually one of the best performers on FaZe, just period, in terms of all the like the versatility and everything that he brings. Brokey, the idea that Brokey will, forever potentially be a better rifler or better player than he is a better opper is something that he'll have to address as time goes on. But right now, I don't think he's doing a bad enough job to put him... Okay, let's see this move. Dude, I love the way that Brokey controls his crosshair. It's so sharp. Every peek was perfect there. Let's see a little Hall's presence. But yeah, he's a solid-ass rifler. That's for damn sure. We know he picks up the op too. And literally the only thing... So, I want to draw the comparison between Brokey and Bit, okay? Because the way that Bit started out on his rookie year was that he was so disciplined, it was crippling. That's what I said, right? And we could see him play his spots all perfect and everything. But sometimes he's rotating a bit slow. Sometimes he wasn't taking that fight he knew he could take. As the year has gone on, Bit is already... No way he just 4Ks there. Okay. And we see... Okay, and look how comfortable he is when he has the rifle, even pushing and stuff like that. But I'm telling you, this game, he's taking the initiative. I don't think he's the same. I think he's shaking off... I think he's shedding the old... he's a different guy now, alright? But Bit now, at the end of the year, fully complete, the same player aim-wise, focus on his crosshair, taking the initiative, taking the liberties, pushing, finding duels, and he literally undefeated on land this year. Brokey, I mean, he done what he can, okay? The only thing is with Bit, he's got a much better team. FaZe are not a totally good team right now. There are good things about this team. I think everyone on the roster believes in Kerrigan as a caller. Those stats a bit inconsistent. And I think FaZe and Brokey are two super solid players who are putting up very consistent performances. They don't have a Nico on this team. They don't have a superstar level anything on this team. They have Brokey, who is a star. They have Twist, who is a star. I wouldn't call them superstars. I would say they would be the perfect electronic to someone simple, But I don't think they have the complete X factor at the moment. Yeah, I don't think that we need more out of those players. Like, if Brokey and Twist continue to play like they're playing, there should be no excuses. Like, the rest of the team should be able to figure this out. And they are making a move. All right, they might be getting the star. They might be getting the star in ROPS to come to the team. That's the rumor. And it looks like FaZe are closing in on the deal. And ROPS has wanted to play with Kerrigan for some time. Now, I do feel like ROPS, also obviously an incredible player. And, I think it's fair to call ROPS a superstar based on what we've seen from him, with his rosters. But this year was such a bad year for Mouse Sports that it really, it kind of took away from players like ROPS. And it's just unfortunate, but obviously there's no questions about him, and it'll be curious because it's not going to be a player who leads from the front, right? The thing is, like, Brokey maybe doesn't take enough initiative. Twist is a very nice third player in, right? Rain is your second and Kerrigan's first, so they might have all the right modes of aggression here. But that still means to me that there's going to be some emphasis on Kerrigan to bring up his consistency a little bit, I feel like. Maybe that's not true. Rain has been very good ever since Cologne. They went back to LAN. You could see kind of, I guess, that it was just not very interesting to play online CS. And the results showed it. And I was kind of calling for Rain's head at one point with my video. And, at the time, of course, to me, that's what I learned when I watched the demos, right? So it made perfect sense, but I think it's fair to say a lot of the players who were having trouble online or whatever were able to kind of change the perception totally when LANs came back, which was wonderful. And it also has changed how I've talked about players who were good on LAN. Teams like G2 who just peak on LAN again, or any of the teams who, if they're absent online, I'm still going to wait to see what happens on LAN, no matter how much of a break it's been. That's what we learned from this year, which I think was good. It was a nice reminder who's actually a LAN team, who's not. Who are LAN players, who are not. I didn't think it would be that serious, but it really was. Okay, rotation over towards the B site. Let's see what happens. Rookie tossing a little flash ski for himself. Oh, okay, he's rotating in. Maybe they're boosting quad then. Or he's just going to play emo with it. We have no smoke here in the back of the site. I don't know if Olaf has one. Let's see what execute comes in. You know it's 5v4, so even if they get one kill, they're totally fine. I think this rotation from FaZe makes a lot of sense. They can feel more comfortable. Okay, this pillar is good. You can dodge flashes on this pillar. You can take all these different timings. Yeah, very nice. Kerrigan's coming in with no nades. Okay, it looks like oh sorry, Rain is back here. So I thought it was Olaf for some reason. Rain is back here. Doesn't have any nades, but they had enough players. So that's all good. Brokey sharp as you need. And that's a thing, like, yeah. With potentially for Robs coming onto the team, it's kind of like this, like, you know, role player superstar or something. And it's almost a backhanded compliment, but it's like he is a lurker star. He's kind of like a blame F or whatever. And he will, no matter how much you want to call him a superstar, unlike other superstars, he will struggle if his team isn't good enough that game. Whereas if you take a superstar like Nico, and I made this comparison before, he can win the whole game pretty much by himself, even if his team is pretty much horse meat. You know what I'm saying? And I think that there has to be an understanding there that we can love our favorite players and say they're super good and stuff, but there is a difference between having a star player and having a top 5 rifler or a top 5 opper on your team. It makes the whole it totally changes the face of your results. To have a player like Simple or Nico or Zywoo, they are representing the top 3 teams in the world. Having Shiro for Gambit, having who else is there? You know what I'm saying? Even Nipcrack top 5 having Device not even playing that well. You know, so even if it was kind of quietly, there is such a big difference. And like you look at Mouse Sports, for example, they got some good pieces. They don't have this. They don't have the same pedigree with the IGL, but they have some nice pieces. And yet, an absolutely atrocious year. I mean, no deep runs whatsoever. And Robs did his part. Frozen did his part. Frozen's someone I wish I had on this list, man. I actually, I was thinking about it for a long time, and I didn't end up putting him on the list. And it's mostly just because of Mouse's results. It's not that the stats weren't good, but if you look at the runs, they basically just didn't have many games to play, and it's not their fault. But you have to have a certain amount of data, I feel like, to compare with some of these other players, because they're playing way more. You know what I mean? Like, their stats are going to come down a bit because they're playing way more good teams consistently, going farther and so on. Mouse Sports' year was just that bad. You know, for having Rops and Frozen, it's actually pretty tragic to have a year that bad, I won't lie. Coming out of last year, too, they were on an upwards trajectory with Kerrigan. It's weird because I really believe in Dexter as a player, and I thought he was going to be a solid IGL, man. I thought the Mouse Sports lineup, role-wise, made perfect sense, but I think it's a matter of experience, I'm going to say. I could totally see one day Dexter, you know, figuring this out, but I think at the tier 1 now, 6 months is what a year used to be. When you say give a player some time, you can't really give him a full year anymore. You give him like 4 months and then you make a roster move. Because at the tier 1 level, everything's so accelerated now. The salaries are so high. The demand for results is so high. And the more often that you see players like Bit, for example, or others who come in and are just immediately good, like Brokey was, the less bandwidth you have for, you know, players who take some time, that need a gestation period. The ZTRs of the world, the LNZs, these kinds of players. Now everyone just needs to know who is just going to be good on LAN, whether they know it or not, and who's insane and who's going to learn hella fast. That's the question. Nice Tech 9 work here from Brokey. He's good with pretty much every gun. His movement is actually fabulous, like really good. And so, for me, I think Brokey does beat a lot of timings, and mechanically, a very, very gifted opper from this perspective. I think movement is so important as an opper, and he's very sharp about everything that he executes. I see him never bumping into walls, never messing anything up, and I think those little timings is what makes a big difference. Accuracy is very high with an op. Literally the only thing holding him back that I think he changed already when we look at this major was the initiative, the level of initiative, and I think he brought it this major, man. I don't really have questions about Brokey as much anymore. The only thing for me is just how will he keep it up? That's it. Is he going to keep trending in the right direction or not? That's the only question for me. But yeah, I have him very high up on the list this year, and I think if you want to say Brokey's overrated, I get it. I kind of put him in that same, James got inflated stats. I think there are some players who they got inflated stats, but they're still good. I think Brokey's one of those players. I think Brokey's one of those players. And Brokey's stats are not as inflated as someone like Blamef or Jame or Rops or someone who's really saving a lot, just no matter how good they are. Yeah. But okay, Mr. Right Place, Right Time. This would have been the first Latvian in playoffs. Instead, it was Yakindar, who made it through to the legend stage, which was a beautiful result either way, to have one. The Balkan region is roaring right now. You got to appreciate that. It's sick to have some of these players coming in for representation for, a region right in the middle of Europe. And I was talking to Heku, who is an interviewer who did the We Play Academy League, working at HLTV right now, and she was over the moon about the fact that, the Balkan region, I don't know if I've got this right, but this area has got some representation. And she said that the players there didn't really believe that it could be done until we see Brokey and Yakindar coming through. So it's great that they're both coming up at the same time, honestly. Believe in the tech. This will work. This will work. He will walk up back of halls right now. 3, 2. Okay. Oh, okay. I didn't think they were going to stay there. I thought Brokey had it right. I thought Brokey had it right. He still did work, though. He still did work. But yeah, I mean, it's the Roger Bannister effect, right? It's right when he ran the 4-minute mile, 5-minute mile, 4-minute mile. Everyone started running it after him. People said, that's not possible. And then he did it. And then everyone just started doing it. That's why, yeah, you got to see it done. And sometimes you got to see it done by someone who looks like you. You know what I'm saying? It's important. It's important whether or not we want to believe it. Twist named his op. Whoa. And he could have borrowed. I don't know. Let's see. I don't know which op this is. But he's always dripped. He's always dripping like Kreia Sedusa. I actually gave one of these away a long time ago on Twitter, man. If only I knew. How much those things cost now? $500? I don't want to ask. Brokey, does he have to move? No, they got a double lane setup. The only weakness is towards B, but let's see what kind of info they have. They're sure about this. Oh, maybe a nice call here. This HE could slow him down again. It's all about these little timings. Let's see if he gets out. Oh, he's looking for the shot. Oh, is he coming back out? No, he's dead if he stays, right? No. That was probably a bad move. You just shot. It's so obvious, It's just that temptation. You start foaming at the mouth, right? Mouth starts watering. Two different things that happen. You got rabies or you see some good food, but regardless, he basically is like, okay, 10 seconds, 9 seconds. He's foaming at the mouth. He's got rabies. And he's like, if I just hit one shot, I could stop this bomb from going down. And they'll make a statue of me in Latvia. I'll go down a hero. Wait, is one of them Estonian? Shoot, I hope I got this right, man. Damn it. I feel like I can't remember. But I'm gonna put it this way. They're both from around there, right? Oh, I'm so ignorant. It hurts. Hurts me. Hurts me too. Hurts me more than it hurts you, chat. I'm not lying, but just saying. Oh, look at this dragon wall. Bruh, if I smart enough, I would have just got a butterfly sapphire and just been done with it, man. I always loved that knife, but it was always so expensive. I was like, I'll just wait till it goes down. It just never went down. Love this damn thing. Interesting. That smoke is just so the flank can come in faster. Because if he smokes that, then they might not clear it. They might get nervous. So no utility here in CT. Normally you want to have a guy who has like, you know, an HE or something like that to throw on the plant. But instead they're just going to be holding for pool, waiting for the banana stuff to go out. When banana gets pushed off, sometimes the peak will come in this way. You know? You get desperate. You can feel it over here. Oh, he knows pool is clean. One left. Flick gets popped. No chance. Nicely handled. You can see all the logic there for the whole retake for everybody. That smoke just to give Olaf a chance that, you know, maybe they forget about him. Very responsible Brokey looking for the time in there. Wow, they execute mid-control even through that molly. That's nice time for Brokey. Oh, you know what I love Brokey does with the HEs? He throws them over the roof. I know he's going to do it. Oh, okay, no he doesn't. He does a close one. So there he's throwing for... he's throwing the HE at a player who's going to set up the arch smoke that lands where he is right now. So he's trying to punish any lurk setup where they have that, or they're trying to take, you know, advanced bracket control. So that's why he threw that specific nade. Nothing is random, you know. So, but when it's when he thinks they're just inside of mid and they're just doing regular mid control, he throws his HE over the roof in mid, which I think is the best way to do it. Because whenever you see that nade getting thrown from arch, first of all, you have to peek to throw it into the, you know, into mid, which is dangerous. And you also see it coming. You see players always jump forward or jump back out of it. All right. Brokey wants to rotate into the site, but he's worried about this lurk. So let's see how he deals with the situation. Good thing about this smoke is that actually, you know, for a second he doesn't really have to watch his back. Oh, okay, Jame will kill him. Oh, Jame will just win the round. That's pretty beautiful. For them. Wow. Directly down mid off that incendiary. Can't help but feel like this round slows down. It might be Virtus Pro on the other side. Oh yeah, it is. Virtus Pro with an opening kill and a minute 40. Oh, nice shot. Any more? That's how he deals with this. You need a pit flash in this position to be able to take the fight, but he's not going to bother with it. So, oh, Olaf doesn't have one. So that's the reason why he didn't continue to fight there. So now we're just sitting in the site. And this is where you can slowly get crushed if you're not careful. Brokey just making sure you can't get lurked on. But this is where you want to take over lane. Oh, I mean, there could be a timing through CT, right? Wow, they seem to be positive that no one's come this way. So, all right, that speeds Brokey up a lot, actually, on this rotate. Yeah, we're about at timing where they're definitely crossing. So he just puts some shots through the smoke. And look where he's at. Yeah, no way he hits that, but... yeah, I don't know. I don't know how he knew no one was in CT or wrapping or anything like that. Virtus Pro tried to get what they could out of that by slowing down the rotation. We see Brokey taking a little bit of friskiness here at mid. He took that peak last round. He won the spot, so he tried again. I feel like we got a nice balance, proactivity. Just it's been kind of... he's where he needs to be. He's good at standing his ground, too. Knowing when he could continue to fight or not. I definitely wouldn't say that he's been playing scared or anything like that. So here, the molly might come down in front of the porch. As an op, you kind of fall back to this spot. And he should obviously get flashed if you're throwing this. But you can hide and peek and then take a shot if you want to. So the flash comes down. Full exec, basically. Oh, wow. Somehow Brokey manages that. Will eventually get traded. A little bit weak there on the hold. I think there's a situation where, okay, if they expected that... yeah, basically, you know, Brokey got his kill after his teammate died. Maybe he could have got it inside of mid where they didn't volley him on porch, but he still could have died in that spot if he ate that flash, so it was quite dangerous for him. They could still hold in that situation. They still had someone pit, like, slash halls and Brokey on the site, but right flirting at his opening kill. All right, well, that's the end of it. Let's watch the rest of this round. See if they can pull this one out. This crosshair is absolutely perfect. This is what Gaben envisioned with what would be the ideal crosshair. No way they went. I'm not watching this. Okay. All right. Boom.
Boom.
Brokey. That's the game. That was good. A lot of nice shots. You know, kind of a classic map of CS. He was there when he needed to be. You could see why he had impact. Really high op accuracy. I mean, basically never missed apart from when he got flashed. Super strong. I think that was a good encapsulation of what we saw this year. We saw an opper with good movement, super high accuracy, a nice balance of modes of aggression. I think he could take it up even a little bit more, but still was not the reason they lost big games. Went hard at the major, hard as hell at the major, and then ended up, not qualifying to top 8, but absolutely could have, and it wasn't his fault they didn't. And he had amazing land stats. Amazing for sure. So, okay. Let me know who you got next for number 13. That's Brokey. Hope you enjoyed that one. As always, be safe.